Well, I thought I'd make a video of how I fix one of these hilos up here. This is what it looks like when they come in.
You know I always work alone.
A little worse for wear. Missing a lot of parts. It's pretty rusty. What I'm going to do here is just try to fix it up and make it look good. So the first step I need to do is power wash it. Because before you can do anything else, it's got to be clean. So that's what it looks like. And here we go. We're going to do some of the power washing. Get some of this dirt out of there. I'm still washing it. You can see all the filth and crud and everything in there. That looks... It's going to take a while to get this thing clean. Usually takes an hour or two to wash one of these things. It's high pressure steam usually, and a good degreaser. Alright, I'll be back in a minute.
I'll be back.
Well, here it is. I got it washed. Don't look much better. It may actually look worse because of makes the rust show up. But that's the first step. Get it washed. It looks like a little cleaner. A little bit better off. Well, now on to the next step, tearing it apart and beginning to sand it down, grind all this rust off, remove the old paint. Well, here I go, just starting to sand it down. The back of these things have a lot of rust on them. And they got a thick coat like Bondo on the back that you have to sand off, and all the rust and scale. Once I sand all that off, I'll go real quick. Fill in some of this with some Bondo, run it into walls, picking it up, destroying it, all these bad areas. Back, fix all this stuff. Doesn't have to be perfect, not a car or anything. But, the first step is just to sand it all off, get the rust, scale, all that nasty stuff off. That's the dust part. Start sanding away, then I come back, put some Bondo on there, sand that. Now I got all the heavy rust and crust and all that stuff off of it. It's time to put a layer of Bondo on there, just a little bit. Fill in some of them heavy cracks, some of the pitting and stuff won't hit the walls. So that's the first layer of sanding. A lot of dust on it, I'll tell you. see I got the Bondo on there. You can see it kind of slathered around here and there. Let that cure. And sand that too. And while that was curing, I started doing the same thing to the sides. So see, this side hasn't been done yet. It's quite rusty. Scaly. A lot of heavy pitting in there. When I hit it, actually chunks of metal come off. This is pretty bad. So what I did is, while this was curing on the counterweight, basically did the same thing to this side. See, it's all the paint's been ground down and cleaned back to pretty much bare metal. And I put all this Bondo in here in the heavy pitting, the areas where it's heavy and pitted. Let that set up, sand that smooth, then it'll be ready for some primer surfacer to finish it off, hide it. But before I do that, I'm going to keep going around the rest of the truck, sanding off all this heavy rust. As you can see how bad it is in here. All through here. I already knocked a bunch of it out. It's in all kinds of places. It's going to be a lot of sanding to do. So I'll be back when I get a little further along. Well, now that I got some of the Bondo on all three sides and it's cured up, it's time to do sanding stage number 2, where I sand all this Bondo down smooth, work most of those pits and heavy gouging out of it. So what I'm going to do now is, I got it all slathered all over the machine. I'm just going to start to sand it down. Once I sand that down, I'm going to be ready for the surface primer. Now that the primer surfacer has been put on and it's hardened up, it takes about a half hour or so. I'm going to start sanding it back down with minor grade sandpaper. Just get rid of all the smaller imperfections and help smoothen the Bondo. Just give it an overall better look. And if you're painting the cars, you'll probably do this a few times, block sand and all that. I just slather it on with one good shot of minor grade sandpaper. And then after that, I put on regular primer and paint. This should be the third and final sanding right here. Along pretty good, I guess. Getting most of the rust off, got a lot of the body work done. Still got to remove more and more rust. Down in here you can't really see it once painted, but I have to get all this out of here. I've already spent a while chiseling this out. I don't have a sandblast or anything, so I have to just do it with a small air tool, slowly but surely. It's so bad, you can see it right here. The wiring harness is rotting right out. This thing doesn't even run anymore right now. Time to move it, more wires just deteriorate. See, it's all green. That's a mechanic's job to make it run good. My job is to make it look pretty, make it look like it's reliable. is, I painted the overhead guard on it. Finished sanding and priming and painting the overhead guard. As you can see, the main body work's coming along pretty good. Haven't done the hood yet or anything. Back's primed and stuff. I'll paint that after the overhead guard dries and I can mask that off. Whoever wants to focus.
Focus your eyes right on this.
Drunk man. So I got that painted. Normally I always do the mast first, but since this one isn't running right now, that I can't lift the mast, lower it, or do anything to it to get into all those nooks and crannies. So I'm going to have to wait till later to paint it, I guess. It's going to make it a little more difficult to mask the rest of the stuff off. But that's where I got so far. Well, here I go. I got the overhead guard painted. Now that's dry. So I masked up the engine. And I primed the final priming before painting. I put on the sides, the counterweight. I got to do some around the front fender still real quick. Primer on there. I'll let that set up for a few minutes. Then I'm going to start spraying silver paint on it.
I don't hear another word about your paint.
There.
Because you can't make nothing.
Back in a few minutes after I get that part done. Get it on masks. I gotta go let this dry a few more minutes though. That's not a cheap little camera. It takes forever to focus. There we go. And I'll be back in a minute. Well, there it is. I got the silver paint on most of it. On the back counterweight. And on the sides. There's the top. While I was letting that dry, I took this dash and I taped it up, stuff in here, and I resprayed all the plastic on here right now. Just kind of freshen it up, because it was all stained and bad looking. Next thing I'll have to do is paint these control arms, take the tape off. I got a lot more plastic to paint, but it's off right now, and some of it's going to be replaced because it was snapped and crushed. So I'll worry about that when that comes in. Yep. So far, so good. It's starting to come along.
You've got to convince me that you know what this is all about, that you aren't just fiddling around hoping it'll all come out right in the end.
I got most of the base painted. I got the decals on it. I repainted these brackets up here. They were all rusty. Had to put some new clamps on it because the other ones just deteriorated. When I turned them, they just fell right off. Got the side painted, the fenders and such. Now I got to go on and start painting all the small parts, the floorboard, the side panels, the radiator cover, the hood. So over here. Hood's in bad shape. It's got some pretty big dents in it here and some smaller ones all through there. Rusted pretty bad. Big chunks of rust coming off. So next stop is to try to fix this thing up the best I can. It's in pretty bad shape. I'm no super body man, but the good thing is it's just a hilo, as long as it's cleaned up. So I'll be back when I get all those painted and installed. Well, here I go. I got the hood painted, all the body work done on it. It's dried, put it on. I got the cover on top of there, on top of the radiator. That's all. I had to repaint and fix that, all the dents and all the rust. Side panels, those are new. Had to paint those, put them together. Floorboard, de-rusted it, painted it, put it all back together. Now I'm getting ready to put the seat on and a few pieces of the trim. And the rest I might have to wait because the parts have to come in. So I'll be back. After that we'll see what it looks like. We'll get a seat on there. All the dash parts. Most of them aren't in yet, so I gotta wait till them come in. So it's coming along. Well, here's the plastic. I got about 10 or 15 pieces of plastic I have to do. You can see it looks pretty bad. It's dirty. I mean, it's scuffed up. It's got a lot of stains on it. Even the rust stained the plastic. So what I have to do is just clean it up real good, go over it, then I'll spray paint it with some plastic paint, freshen it up, makes it look a lot better. There's been a few pieces I actually had to replace because they were so bad they were smashed. But this one's salvageable. So I'll be back and show you what that looks like when it's done. And there it is, cleaned up somewhat, painted. I mean, it ain't like new or nothing, but it's nice, clean, looks a lot better. I'll do this to every piece that I got and put them back on the truck. And then we'll go from there. See how it comes out. Well, here I go so far. I got the seat on and some of the detail parts. I'm still missing the decals on the sides. That really helps set it off. But so far it's almost, the base is almost done. Got it running now. That's how it looks like so far. Kind of give a quick roundabout of it. The back of it and whatnot.
You got something you want to ask me?
That's how it looks. And for comparison, I got a brand new one sitting right next to it. This one's right off the truck. Only a couple tenths of an hour on it. That's what that looks like. And the used one as it's being restored. So once I get a little bit more decals and a few more trim parts on it, it should look good. So I'll be back with that in a little bit. There's a wide angle of both of them together, if I can get it in there. And I'll be back when I get the finishing touches on it. Well, here we are. It's the final end of the whole project here. It's painted and done. Figured I'd take it outside in the light so you could see it better. Zoom out a little bit. So it's definitely a lot better than it was before. Get it there. Dash. Everything's all been repainted and fixed. All the levers. Seat. Get a good back view of it. And that's how she looks. Not too bad for how it used to look, I guess. Definitely a lot better than it used to be. And that's it. Now it's up to the mechanics to get it running good and get all the mechanical stuff working. And there we go, and I'm out.
That's all, folks.